So the Kansas City Chiefs certainly feel all the way back. There's just so much they do well. They're impossible to stop. Let's get into the film. Let's talk about what they did so well against Buffalo. And one of the things that really jumped out at me is, so Buffalo does the thing that teams try to do now, right? Where it's either a cover two man play or cover two of some sort, whether it's man or zone, or you do something like this where it's going to be it's only a cover one play, so only a single safety deep, but you're doubling Tyreek Hill. So that's kind of the X factor here. In fact, you're doubling Tyreek Hill and you're doubling Travis Kelce. You can double team two guys. That's where their focus is going to be on. So, okay, is it a single safety deep coverage? Sure, but the reason why you want to play two safeties deep against Kansas City typically is because you want to make sure you're doubling Hill. They're doubling Hill, so it's the same effect. Watch how right when this play begins, you're going to see how well it works out for Buffalo, right? I mean, nothing is open. I'm pausing it right here. We're several seconds into the play. Mahomes has nothing he can do. The double on Kelce is working. The double on Hill is working. No one else is able to win their one-on-one matchup because they still could use a third option, I think, for plays like this. But you know who can be that third option? Patrick Mahomes scrambling, which is just like unfair. Watch how Mahomes is going to scramble up, and he's going to be able to pick up a ton of yards right here. So again, Mahomes, one of the smarter scramblers in the league, I feel like. The way he moves is just, it's weird because he doesn't look like he's the fastest guy, but he can move really well, and that's a huge part of his game. There's no denying that. And then that sets up stuff like this, where teams like, okay, I guess we can't play man coverage. You have to treat him like Lamar Jackson because he can scramble outside the pocket. That is a real aspect of playing Kansas City, is you have to be prepared for the Patrick Mahomes running stuff. But if you want to just sit back and play zone coverage, Andy Reid will scheme you up against zone coverage all day long. He's like, you're going to play zone coverage? Great, we'll have our guys get schemed open against zone coverage. This is no issue. They're going to run a play action, and you just kind of have a concept where, one player runs a little bit further deep, another one runs over the middle. This kind of stuff works very well against zone. Look at how right when this begins, you are going to see that Travis Kelce is about to get wide open right here. So you also have the play action, giving your quarterback a little bit of extra time on top of this. And Mahomes is able to hit a wide open Travis Kelce and pick up a big chunk play. So again, people will love to sit here and say, Mahomes just hits open guys, blah, blah, blah. Because people are stupid. I don't get the Patrick Mahomes hate. I mean, I do get it because he's really good. And quite frankly, it's pretty predictable that people would start to hate Patrick Mahomes just simply because of, history tells us that the best quarterbacks in football tend to be the ones that get hate on, and Mahomes is certainly up there. But also to that kind of point, which can be fair on plays like this, but it's also in part set up because of what Mahomes can do when you're playing man, of being able to scramble out and stuff. He kind of got them out of man coverage a little bit because of his scrambling ability. This one's another just fascinating play where it's really interesting, actually, because they take Tyreek Hill out of the game on this play. So you're thinking, okay, they got to run it here, right? I thought Tony Romo did a great job of kind of explaining that in real time and talking about that stuff because, Romo's the best. Romo's amazing. We all agree Romo is great. But the way this works is Mahomes is going to run a play action, and then what you're going to do is you're going to scramble towards the bottom of the screen. You have your halfback who's going to kind of follow in that direction in front, and basically you have a couple options there. You have a couple other players who are running routes, but that's not really relevant to this specific play. Look at how right when this begins, the play action works because, okay, again, that good move by Andy Reid. This game was a huge feather in Andy Reid's cap for sure. There's no denying that. He was awesome scheming up these types of plays and kind of reminded the world, oh yeah, you talk about all these great offensive minds. He's certainly, if he's not the best, he's one of the best. But you see now, this is a dilemma for Buffalo, and this is the classic dilemma of when you have, two players. Basically, you have an open receiver, or do you cover him, or do you cover the quarterback when he's trying to run? What do you do here? And there's no right answer. He goes for Mahomes, which I don't hate. Mahomes flips it up to McKinnon there, which, I get the logic behind it. I do. Let's run up. Let's try and see if we can, just at least force Mahomes to make a throw. It could go wrong there because, again, this is a big play, a 4th down and 1. So I get the logic behind it, but the reality is this is the situation that Andy Reid can put you in. It's a great position for Kansas City to succeed. And finally, let's talk about the game winner. Listen, we can talk about the overtime rules if we want to. I have a video talking about my issues with that as well. But obviously, the overtime rules did not hand Kansas City the victory. They still had to go down and score a touchdown, and this is how they did it. It's quarters coverage play. And really what Kansas City did a lot well, and I like this, is, hey, you can say, well, they don't have a great third option. That's kind of been one of the issues. And guys have stepped up down the stretch too. So I don't want to say like, these third options are awful, but it's not like one of those teams that has like, like for example, I think about the LA Rams of Van Jefferson. I think Van Jefferson would easily be the third best option on this team. That's just my opinion. I'm sure Chiefs fans will disagree, but I digress. What you can do, though, is just line up Hill and Kelce next to each other, and therefore you can kind of have them take the weight off of each other. That's what's happening on this play, where you have Hill who's going to run a route over the middle, and you're kind of like, okay, well, we should probably make sure we double-team Hill, right? Everyone will make fun of us if we don't double-team Tyreek Hill. That's typically how that goes. And so watch how when Mahomes takes the snap, you see that the defensive back is going to kind of come in towards Hill, which means that Kelce is going to be able to have a favorable matchup going up against a linebacker. This is Matt Milano, who's obviously awesome, but he's also not in charge of covering the end zone, so he has to turn his back towards the football, putting this in a great situation for Kansas City. So little things like this, quite frankly, Kansas City's figuring it out at the right time. They're seemingly getting better every week, as crazy as that sounds. They've had a great couple of postseason games, at least on offense. Their defense had some issues in this game, but who wouldn't against Josh Allen when Josh Allen is on, let's be honest. And as you see, Mahomes is going to just make a pinpoint accurate, beautiful throw, and they're able to get the touchdown there. So great stuff from Patrick Mahomes, great stuff from Kelce, great stuff from Hill, great stuff from Andy Reid, great stuff from the Kansas City Chiefs offense as a whole. So yeah, I mean, listen, the Kansas City Chiefs are good at football. It's kind of funny, actually, to think back about the narrative that happened with Patrick Mahomes, about how like Patrick Mahomes was just lucky. That was a legitimate narrative that was happening in the middle of the season, was people felt like Mahomes was a product of the offense. Mahomes just gets lucky with all these, gets away with all these turnover-worthy plays. And like, listen, okay, there's some truth to that. There's some truth to how he didn't turn the ball over too much early in his career, largely, at least in part, due to some luck. But also, the pendulum swung the other way toward in the middle of this season, so that was another aspect. And also, like, okay, yeah, like the Chiefs' offense is really good. That helps Mahomes. There's no denying that. But playing on a good offense is going to help a quarterback. More at 11. Like, we all know that. That's not news, really. So, yeah, I mean, listen, great day for the Kansas City Chiefs. They are probably the favorite. I haven't looked at the odds, but I'm sure they're the betting favorites to win the Super Bowl right now. They're probably my pick to win the Super Bowl right now, although I want to go back and rewatch that Bengals-Chiefs game and really get into it. So I'll make my preview coming up of the Bengals versus Chiefs, who I think is going to win, and all of that good stuff. So be on the lookout for that. Yeah, but that's what I think about Patrick Mahomes. He's good at football. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.